Okay. Okay. Good morning. I see that the laptop is trying to freeze, but as you can see, my hair. I'm getting ready to comb my hair, but I did it like this on purpose, so you can see that many of you are waking up. This is what the Lord shook me with this morning. See, a lot of y'all are waking up with your heart in this condition. It's just scattered, and then many of you wear your hair in this style. But what is going on is actually the reason why I had to do my hair this way is for you to understand really the state that you're in concerning your workplace. Because a whole bunch of you don't know how to deal with these workplace demons. A lot of them are just haters because you're so sharp at what you do. They just hate, or they're afraid that you're going to take their job. A lot of the reasons why they're haters. But I woke up this morning, the Lord gave me, I got me my little sip of tea here. And, I think you ought to get you a sip of tea and prepare for these haters before you even get there. I'm going to start combing my hair in a few minutes. I figured I'd let this stay like this for just a few minutes so you can see the shape you in. Listen, one of the things I realized is I worked for corporate world for a very long time. And one of the things that people like to do, they like to be like a two-headed snake. One breath, they're saying, "Good morning, Sandy." And then the second breath, they're saying, "You need to go ahead and tell the supervisor on her. She always doing this, she always doing that." And those very people that are doing that, before the end of the day, or probably before the end of the week or month, they probably come to you asking you, would you please pray for them or pray for their child they're going through. Okay, I think that's enough. But, along with my face, I can't keep my hair like it because a whole bunch of y'all are just so beautiful. Y'all can get up in the morning and just let your hair be sticking up like that. Well, I'm trying to get ready to get out of here, but I was led to share a couple of things. You see, I told y'all I got Kunta Kinte here. I take a whole bunch of stuff to try to get it under control. That's why a lot of times I have it under my girls. But let me tell you something. One of the things I realize is that too many people are dying today. Too many people are sick because they're going to work trying to deal with these haters. Many people have quit their jobs. Many people are being sick and can't seem to get well because they're dealing with these crazy people on their job. And let me tell you something. You don't have to keep going to work with your stomach hurting you, with your headache, with, you got all these issues that you don't know what you're going to do about. I got a couple of notes here I want to share with you about some of the things that people wind up finding themselves in because of these haters. And what I want you to think about is when you're dealing with these haters, you got to remember a couple of things. Like I said before, they're trying to find a way to get you to quit. And if you was like me when you were in between the world back then, because I was carnal, and I know I might be talking to a whole lot of carnal people, who haven't made a decision to truly cross over, I would tell them in a minute, meet me after work. I know I'm talking to somebody. Meet me after work. But see, what the deal is because you may love God so bad if you're one of those who want to be long-suffering, who want to try to make it right, who want to try to deal with these people, but they still just want to go and lie on you, want to tell things that didn't happen, it wasn't your fault, want to put things in places, try to set traps for you, and then there they are getting all the credit, getting all the raises, you getting bad reports on your evaluations because of the lies and the tricks that this two-headed snake has done to you. Trying to get a little more tea here. Because every time I think about it, but this gatekeeper got to be killed. This demonic gatekeeper on your job has got to be killed. Did I say killed physically? No, in the spirit. And one of the things I want to give you some advice about is that you cannot agree with the gatekeeper. See, one of the things that the gatekeeper wants you to do is believe that what they're telling you is right, that you are wrong. But you got to have a way to deal with them in a way that you got to confound the enemy. What the enemy wants you to do is agree with them so that they can see, I know I told you. See, if you hadn't believed me, if you hadn't agreed with me, you're going to wish you had her. That's what snakes do. They like to pray around and try to figure out a way that they can wrap themselves around you like a python. But the devil is a lie. I come this morning because I'm on my way out, and I came in here just to prepare myself as I'm talking to you to get ready to get out of here. But I want you to hear me. In this time that you're going through right now, God is trying to set you up to bless you. He's not trying to hurt you. He said that no thing that is heavy, too heavy for you to bear, that he will put on you. These things are there a lot of times to correct us. And that during my time when I wanted to call him out, tell him to meet me out to work, he was trying to correct me to see that it wasn't that the gatekeeper or this two-headed snake was right. But what he was trying to see was I going to pass the test to understand how to be long-suffering and understand how to handle hell. I know I'm talking to somebody. How to handle hell with true agape love, his kind of character. You know, even if you're carnal, you know, the Bible even tells us a fool know how to be quiet. But we want to say everything. We want to read them their rights. We want to tell them right now what they better do. You know, no, I ain't trying to hear all that. No, that's not what she told me to do. You know, you got some kind of head going and fingers going, you know, and you got all this body language. You might not say them, but you're doing this. Okay. All right. Yes, ma'am. You know, that ain't nothing but just provocative, you know, a way to say, I almost tell them, go to hell. When actually you need to make sure that you have your demeanor right, your body language right, and making sure that these people haven't got to know that they are winning while you know they're working on your nerve. Don't give them not even a crack to know that it's working. That's what the enemy don't like. The enemy wants to make sure they can see the manifestations of your frustration, of your hell, of your anger, of your frustration. No. You have to stand bold and just stand there. And then I say, take their hell. No. You let them say what they want to say. And this is what I want to say to you real quick. What you need to be working on with this two-headed snake. Because what their ultimate goal, and we already know, every workplace got one. I don't care even if you are in authority. Every workplace got some two-headed snake that's there to try to pull you down so they can take your job or make you look inadequate, unqualified, so they can take your job or make you look bad enough so they can bring their friend in. Yeah, that's what they do. They want to get rid of you so they can bring their friend in so they can have a job. But guess what's going to happen? They're going to lose theirs. They're going to lose their job because every did somebody did for somebody else, they are going to eat the fruit thereof. And so never agree with the gatekeeper because the gatekeeper is not going to agree with you. And so I want you to understand that some of the triggers that the gatekeeper is going to hold, many of these people are compulsive liars. They're just snakes. So you got to know they're going to find a way to try to make you look bad. But I want to give you these real quick so I can get off here because I got to get ready to go somewhere. Let me find my little note here real quick. What I want to share with you, because when I got this morning, the Lord was showing me that I need to talk to somebody who's dealing with these bullies and these people on their job, you know, because they just try to make you lose your job. And too many people are going to work with an intention to hurt, went to bed. The Bible says in Proverbs that their feet are rushing for evil, you know, and they find a way to try to plot other people. There's something wrong with that. That person is mentally ill. You know, and so we got to understand that there's way. So the first thing you got to look at is don't ever say yes to hell. Okay. You got to find a way and a time to talk to that person about what they're doing. Because the first thing they always want to holler and scream is, I told you what to do. Now they're trying to see why you ain't done what I told you to do. And so you want to make sure that you don't allow them to, you know, keep pushing you around, keep trying to tell you what to do that is not of God and that is not right. And so I'm trying to find my notes. I thought I had them already out because I got to get off of here real quick so I can give you some little tips that you need to look at as you begin. So the first thing you want to do, you want to resist lowering your standards. You know you blessed and highly favored. You ain't got to be cocky. Just make sure you stand there very, very persistent about who you are and what you know is right. And so you want to make sure that you don't get dirty, don't get nasty with them, don't try to act like ghetto and want to get in a fight like I used to do, say I'll meet you after work. And sometimes I call him in the bathroom. I had that bad. Say, can you come to the bathroom? I got to talk to you just a minute. And I grab them up in their collar. Yeah, Dr. Murphy did that. I grab them up in their collar and say, you got one more time to talk to me like you did in there in that office, but in front of everybody else. And I'm going to beat you down after work. I don't even care what happened to this job. I'm going to beat you down so I ain't got to worry about losing my job. I'm telling you right now, these people on your job are there to get rid of you. That's their ultimate job. And so you got to make sure that you don't let this two-headed snake on your job cause you to lose your job. And then the second thing you want to consider is you don't want to actually become obsessed with what they're doing. Don't be obsessed with their appearance. Don't be obsessed just because they look like they got it going on. You just know that they are a snake and you don't want to go in the same pit they're in. You got to be clear. That's the next thing. You got to be clear to let them know that you're not going to tolerate being disrespected. And there is a way and there is a time for everything. Some places that snake, that two-headed snake, in the workplace. Now, the workplace and can't just be a corporate. You got to know that we got this going on right in the church house in administration. So, but I'm telling you right now, you got to find a place so you can go and tell them, look, I want to talk to you. If you give me a minute and take them by themselves, I want to talk to you about the fruit of what you are not in the fruit of the spirit, the way you've been talking to me. I don't like the way you've been saying everything to me. I need to know, am I saying this wrong to you? What offense have I done to you? You got to have a way to do that. You will make yourself clear that you're not going to tolerate this dishonest talk, these lies, these tricks that you have noticed. Come on, be straight up, shoot straight, and let them know you want to talk about it. And when they try to down, I don't know what's wrong with you, and I don't know that. No. Just let them know. I'm just letting you know that I'm going to be praying for our relationship because you're trying to be in long suffering and the fruit of the spirit. And I know how bad you want to slap them down, but I know I be want to slap them down. How they say, the old folks say, slap the taste out of their mouth. But the only thing keep me is the grace of God. Okay. And then the next thing you want to do, you got to be prepared because argument might start. This is the reason why we got so many people on the job being shot and killed because they argue. They have no middle person. You need to bring somebody in the middle because sometimes, so they can be the mediator, because sometimes you already know this bully or this person that you have been having a hard time to deal with. They're not going to act right. They're going to just keep on trying to find ways to bully you out or get you to, to be just so where you want to slap them. And so get somebody there who keep you calm. Because I know whenever I got something to deal with, the only thing is keeping me calm is the Lord. Because, I just don't want to put other people in that mess. And so I make it a habit to deal with everything that I need to deal with me and my daddy God. And then if I have a mentor or something, of course, I'm going to run it by them. So you want to do that too. You want to run it by your mentor so they can see, what they can say or do, to help you in this matter. And especially get to pray. Don't leave out prayer. I'm trying to find my little hair piece so I can tie this stuff up. And then the next thing you want to do, you want to avoid waiting too long. Don't wait so long. Why you want to wait until, there you go, a whole month to pass? And now the thing to turn from a seed to a tree. And now you're trying to hurry up and get it dealt with. Let's deal with the devil right now. Don't wait. I think some stuff God wants us to wait on, but some stuff you're going to have to deal with right away. Because what it does, it hurries up and it grows up big. And the enemy want to make it look like it's your fault, the reason why the shape is in. So you need to go head on and tell that person that you're not going to tolerate them any longer, disrespecting you, dishonoring you. And you might have to, if you're in a church, you may have to bring your pastor, your leader in and try to help resolve the thing. Because sometimes you can bring them in all you want to. Because a lot of these pastors and leaders, they're not going to deal with these people because these people either are giving them good tithes and offerings or whatever, and they're not going to get rid of them. They probably go against you for them. And so I know I'm talking to somebody. I don't know what's wrong with my voice today. It's acting kind of strange. But anyway, I just wanted to share that with you this morning before I run my errands. And I also wanted to say this, just let me see whatever the nugget I had here. I said avoid waiting too long. You know, you take the words right out of the mouth of the snake. Don't give them an opportunity to try to justify why they're saying what they're saying. And you may need to practice in front of a mirror or something about what you're trying to say. Because a lot of them won't hear you out or won't adhere to anything anyway. And so practice in the mirror, you know, being very kind. And you want to be real cocky. But what I do is I stand in the mirror and say, okay, listen, Sandy, I know that me and you've been having differences. And, just practice in the mirror talking, and we got to work together. And I know as hard as it is, for whatever reason I've done to offend you, I just want to work together. I'm not trying to do anything to bring any harm to you or anything. And I hope if I've done anything to offend you, that you will forgive me today. And they try to stand back and get you like, but whatever you want to do is in kindness and meekness and sweetness, so that you can hope that you can get this venom of hell out of this snake, out of your workplace, because you got to have your job. See, that's what the devil wants to do. He wants to quit our jobs so we can run around and say, well, God told me my season is up. No, your stress level told you your season up. You can't deal with it no more. You tired of staying at the church, but they're not accepting you. So you're just out of there. That's what the enemy is trying to do, to make you usurp authority, make you not get along with your pastor, your leader, make you not get along with your spouse or the person on the job. But at the workplace, that's what so much violence is going on every day. People have to go to work every day. Stomach ache, headache, going to the bathroom, stomach in knots, can't eat or smoke about, I don't know how many cigarettes you even get there, and dope, because I know I used to do that. Smoke all kind of weed to try to cope with that girl before I get there. But I had to be high as a kite, because what I wanted to do, I wanted to slap, but I had to have my job. I was a single parent, and I wasn't going to quit my job, because I had to take care of my babies. I know I'm talking to somebody. Take a little sip. Anyway, like I said, winter time right now, we can't allow this devil to keep on having us quit our jobs, leaving in our position while we're taking care of our babies. Because what the devil wants to do, he want to have you so stressed and so tired that you say, I'm just going to look for me another job. No, you need to look for you another piece of armor. That's what you need to be looking for. Another piece of armor of peace. Another piece of armor of love. Another piece of armor of long suffering. You need to go in that fruit of the spirit and see what you can pull out each day that you can start shooting at into the enemy. Love and peace and joy. What I did, and I'll give you a little tip. What I did is I started being a secret pal. I don't know if you heard that before. I started being a secret pal. And so what I would do is I find little gifts every week. It didn't matter if it was from the dollar store or whatever. I found little gifts, wrapped it real cute, and put it on the enemy's desk. And they would rock around and go, oh, look at this. I got a secret pal. And I'd be saying to myself, I know I'm talking to somebody. See, what I did was I had to try to keep doing something, and I did it, how they say, do it and say it like you mean it. So I kept doing it because I kept praying that this thing would break, because I knew I hadn't done the thing, but all it was is that they were just jealous of the anointing that I had on my life, because I had a way with people. People just liked me. It's not my fault because they had hell in their heart, and the people wasn't liking them. They would always ask to see Sandy. It's not my fault because you got hell. You thought because you were so beautiful that they would like, and I always want you in their face. This is because I had scars on my face. This didn't mean anything. The people was looking at my heart. And so that's what I want to say to you today. You need to make sure that you watch the way you're doing things with this snake, because they're two-headed. They're going to look like they love you and they're for you, and they're at the boss's desk probably every week or send them emails, come see what she's doing. Look what they're doing. I'm telling you right now, you got to use a different type of fruit from your tree of love, your gifts of the spirit, of the fruit of the spirit, against this devil. Now I think I want to end with this one right here. Some discussions that you might want to begin with them, maybe a little hard because of the gatekeeper. The first thing you want to look at, you want to look at the problem, and you want to ask them, how can we solve it together? You want to let them know, not that you're being condescending, but you want to let them know, I believe that we can be a team. because I love how you do, compliment them. I love how you do this, and I just want you to teach me how to do that. I want to learn how you were able to do that in that time frame, whatever it is, because you got to break this thing, because people are being too sick and they come to work, like I said, just killing everybody because they're mad at just one somebody. Lord help us all. And then there's a way that you might want to ask them, how can I rationally find a way to see if we can communicate to improve our relationship? I know you've proven that you don't like me for whatever reason, but honestly, I don't have anything against you. This is what we got to find a way. Can you see that one angry person is killing the whole office? That's why it's called terrorism. Everybody wants to hurt somebody because of the gatekeeper. And so you need to establish a one-on-one type of relationship. Don't keep pointing your finger and accusing. But I want to end with this because I got to go. I wanted to say this is what the word of the Lord gave me for you to know as far as this issue is concerned. Romans 8:31 tells us that if God be for you, who can be against you? But you got to see, is God really for you? Because see, some of the stuff God is not for you, and God is not fighting for you because you're working in the same thing the hell is working in. That hell roller on your job, on your workplace, whether it's in the job or at the church. And so if God be for us, who really can be against us? And so the passion that you may have, or the emotional thing that you may have of greed, of admiration that you're trying to do, or this gratitude that you're trying to show, and any kind of moderation, we can look at the fruit of the Spirit. You can be able to find words to fully describe how you're feeling without being angry, without being manipulative, or without being cunning to try to get, how they say, to get on the boss's side so the other person can be pushed down and pressed down. You got to find a way to come out of that way if you are the hater. You got to find a way to come out so that you won't lose. Because guess what? You're going to lose. Because what you sow is what you reap. You're not going to think you're going to keep doing bad to these people and getting away with it. God is going to deal with you. And so I'm telling you today, you think about what I'm saying to you. If God be for you, who can be against you? It may apparently look like it's going to work, or that something is going to work out. What this person is doing to you. I know it was God telling me to go here talk to you this morning. You need to pass this on for somebody who's going through hell on their job or going through in their workplace. Because I'm telling, at their church place where they work or whatever they serve at. Because see, this is the devil wants you to believe. He want to always send an oppressive, two-headed snake to try to make us have, this wishy-washy emotional trauma in our heads. But we're trying to figure out how to approach them each day. The devil is like, you know what that becomes? They become a little God. Because all you can get up to speaking when you comb your hair. Lord, or your hair's in shambles like mine was in the very beginning. Because you're trying to figure out how you're going to deal with it. Or you staying at home because you can't deal with it today. You're just too stressed. You got to figure out a way how to handle that hell when you get back to church or work. The devil is a lie. And so just remember, when they rise very high, look very loud in their language, or the language is too faint or too deceptive for you to understand, or they're trying to oppress you, or they won't even let you explain to them. And then the person is feeling like you're the one that's lost and crazy. I want you to know that the person who's either lost in their hell, or the person who seems like that they got something always to say, this is what you need to realize for the end of this little message today. The person is either lost, or they just simply need some medication because they are just off the chain of dealing with hell in their lives. And so it's either that you're going to need to be lost in silence, or you're going to allow God to let you feel that there's something that he's trying to say to you. Process it that way. And then after you've done all the labor you know how, and you've done everything that you feel like you need to be doing according to what God is telling you to do, the best thing you need to do is be quiet. I've never in my life seen so many people got to have something to say to prove themselves, to prove their point. Some things you need to be quiet and let your daddy God fight for you. And the other thing is we got to understand, and like Apostle Paul did, he said that when he was under difficult tempting issues, it was better for him to be quiet. And see, that's why the Bible says we need to watch and pray. So you watch that devil and you need to pray for him. And remember what I always say, whatever we don't feed, it will eventually die. I challenge you today to quit feeding the devil. Quit listening to what the devil has to say or do. Because if you don't feed him, if you don't feed the issue, if you don't feed the hater, eventually everything they're trying to do, they're going to eat the fruit of their own lips, and they're going to fall into their own traps. I pray that you will learn how to deal with that. Hopefully, if the Lord sends me back again to say something to you, I will. But right now, don't ignore the bully. Don't ignore this issue that you're dealing with this hard to work with person or hard to, love the way they're at. But you've got to walk in agape love. And that requires long suffering. Remember, what you don't feed will eventually die. God bless you and enjoy your day.